Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do some news stories out there. Yes, and we got another one right here. Another fucking creep busted and grooming and assaulting and raping an underager. A child. We got one right here. Suspect arrested for assaulting a 10-year-old who fled Ohio for abortion. Suspect arrested after preying on 10-year-old in Ohio. Let's get to it, shall we?
10-year-old child raped, gets pregnant. The state of Ohio says it is illegal for her to abort the fetus.
Wow.
And then state officials.
And here's another thing. I have a huge problem. We're still reeling from Roe v. Wade getting overturned. And majority of states have banned abortion. Some states still allow it. You know, Washington, Oregon, and California, still allow it, and their health plan as well. I have a huge problem as well. What if a female, or especially a young woman who's raped, you telling me that she can't abort the baby? It's a law. She was freaking right. This girl's 10 years old. Come on.
Shows said it was made up.
Made up?
Here's the man who actually raped that 10-year-old girl. Let's put him up for a mask. His name.
Here's a creep.
Is Gerson Fuentes.
Gerson Fuentes.
This piece of scum.
Piece of shit.
Violated a 10-year-old child.
Yeah, he fucking raped her. This guy is the deviant fucking sick creep. The worst of the worst. The creeps of everything, all creeps.
The victim at the center of this international saga, because it did make international news.
Wow.
An Ohio man was arrested on Tuesday for raping a 10-year-old girl who became a central figure in the debate over abortion rights after she reportedly traveled to Indiana to have an abortion when Ohio outlawed the procedure last month.
Many states did as well.
The Ohio version of the bill said even in cases of rape and incest, it is still illegal in their state.
That's bullshit.
To seek an abortion. So much so.
And like I said, I have a huge problem with that. I mean, I can understand like some states want to ban abortion, but this is a 10-year-old girl. For fuck's sakes, she was raped, and there's no way you think she wants to have a baby. And you say, well, you can't abort it. You have to go with her. This girl's 10 years old. She's got her whole life ahead of her.
That if you attempt, that's a criminal issue. If a doctor helps you, that's a criminal issue now. And a doctor has a duty to report you if you are seeking an abortion, even if you've been raped.
That's fucked up. Okay? Fucked up.
They created this law based on what's called a trigger law dynamic. What does that mean? It means they actually passed this law before it was legal for it to become a law. Now, why would someone do that? Number one, Republicans in Ohio, Texas, and other places, they were already aware that the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade. They passed these laws 1 year ago, 2 years ago, some up to 3 years ago. They saw the writing on the wall. While Democrats were still saying, there's no way Roe v. Wade will be overturned. Republicans were passing laws that would have a trigger impact once Roe v. Wade was no more.
Yep.
This also allows for the Republicans to avoid the public relations campaign. The problem is
when Roe v. Wade got overturned last month, shit was going to fucking carnage and shit was fucking fucked up and upside down.
It was even allowable. So the law becomes automatic without them having to make the case. There's more. An arrest record was found. Court records viewed by the Daily Beast confirmed that Fuentes, 27 years of age, was arrested on Tuesday in Franklin County on a felony charge of raping a person under 13. The Columbus Dispatch, who first reported on this arrest, attended Fuentes' arraignment in Columbus on Wednesday. The unidentified girl's plight became national news when the Indianapolis Star quoted a doctor who said a 10-year-old rape victim who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant had been forced to travel from her home in Columbus, Ohio, to Indiana for an abortion. Her home state had a trigger law that immediately outlawed abortions after 6 weeks once the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. a Columbus detective identified by dispatch as Jeffrey Hunn, testified in court Wednesday that a 10-year-old victim was impregnated and had an abortion in Indianapolis. The victim went out of state to have a medically terminated abortion, he said, according to a video of the arraignment. Fuentes confessed to the rape when he was questioned about it. Now, during this time, when it became a story, Republican Attorney General of Ohio decided to hop his happy ass on Fox News and other conservative media outlets to denounce this story and say it was a hoax, to say it was made up. He's the chief prosecutor of the entire state of Ohio, and he, without evidence, decided to go on national media and defend a rapist. He said it was all just...
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, right back to square one. You got fucking dumbasses that there are police officers and they work for the government, work for the state like that. And that's why the old adjective, like fellow mama said it, creeps do stick together. You get creeps out there defending other sickos. And just like he said, he went on TV to defend that rapist, to defend that sicko.
Hyperbole. Nothing to see here. Oh, there's no rapist raping a 10-year-old girl in my state. That's what the man said. Put his picture up.
Let's do it one more time. Here we go.
Arrest comes after conservative media.
Here's a fucking rape apologist, a chomo defender.
Something parodied by Fox News presenters as
this piece of shit defends chomos. You believe that, ladies and gentlemen?
In custody. You see that guy there? His name is Dave Yost. He's the state attorney general for Ohio.
State attorney.
This
state general attorney defending a fucking rapist. Yeah, you got like people on the YouTube land like Alan Krabs, Gary A. DiPietro, defending sickos like David Toddashini. And he has no problem going and say, yeah, I went on his panel. He said to Malibu months ago. And he's rubbing shoulders with David Toddashini with Stoney Stone. You get, you get fucking dumbasses, fucking big fat fucking Jimbo who fucking married a 12-year-old girl when he was 17 out of fucking Kentucky. And you got this piece of work defending a fucking sicko. He said, oh, there's no rape. This guy didn't rape a 10-year-old girl and knock her up. Shit. Creeps do stick together. Here's another case.
Character spent much of the last week effectively dubbing the story a hoax, suggesting that he and his office had heard nothing about any such crime being reported in Ohio. And
I'm going to say this for if I'm going to continue this video. Where is fucking fellow mom? Where's Dank Willims? Where's Kathleen Riley, aka NSC lady? Where is people like Tag? Where's like Rai or Glittery Stalkers? Where's Clovis? Where are all these fucking people at? Why aren't they reporting news like that? These dumb fuckers are more right. What's going to YouTube line? Who's on the creep on the internet? These motherfuckers dropped the ball, just like they dropped the ball when Jamie Walsh died, the rodent victim. And here we go. They dropping the ball on this one too.
He said, and I quote, now remember, this is the chief prosecutor of Ohio.
He's the chief prosecutor of Ohio.
We have a decentralized law enforcement system in Ohio, but we have regular contact with prosecutors and local police and sheriffs, Joyce said in a Fox News segment on Monday. Not a whisper anywhere. Yet, this attorney general released a statement yesterday afternoon that did not address his previous comments. So what did this politician who defended a rapist say? We have decentralized law enforcement in Ohio. Joyce immediately must apologize, according to Crossman. So Joyce went on record yesterday after it was known he was wrong. He sends his sentiment. He shares in the anger. It's one of these, whoa, we should not allow this to happen in Ohio. However, Attorney General, you're the person who said it was a hoax.
Yeah.
And without even...
Yeah, Mr. General Attorney, you're sitting there wanting to defend, say, oh, that a woman shouldn't get abortion even if she was raped. And yet, in the same fucking breath, this piece of shit, this Attorney General, was defending he was defending that sicko and said, oh, there is no rape. It didn't happen. Bullshit, it did. It happened. Like I said, you get another fucking, it's like griefs do stick together. Yeah, you get fucking dumbasses, rape apologists, chomo supporters defending sickos.
Even acknowledging your previous statement, without even acknowledging that what you said and what your office represented was wrong, and it was wholly inaccurate, and it did not represent the victim, this 10-year-old, nor did it represent the sentiment of who you are as a prosecutor, or who you should be as a prosecutor. Instead, you avoided all of that. After implementing a 6-week abortion ban without exemptions for rape or incest, Dave Yost rushed to get himself on national TV to criticize the story of a 10-year-old rape victim, calling the story a fabrication, said Crossman, who is a current state representative in Ohio. Crossman added that Yost must immediately apologize to this young girl, her family, etc. That's not going to happen. Okay? The Attorney General is not going to apologize. You know why?
He's
because
a fucking rape apologist, ladies and gentlemen.
This movement, so to speak, is stronger than any common sense. You think they're going to start acting as if they have common sense, common decency, common courtesy? You think they're going to say, you know what, I was wrong about that. I need to correct it. We need to go on the record and say this office was inaccurate. They're not going to do that. This is not about protecting life. This is not about protecting some kind of religious dynamic in America. This is all about white male domination.
Of course.
Now remember, not only are they taking away a woman's right to choose in this country,
it's all about political
they are also
figure.
now creating legislation that will make it illegal for women to travel outside of their state where it's illegal to a state where it is legal.
It's called
to
systematic
right.
as well too.
That's another violation of the Constitution.
Yep.
That will only apply to women. The Constitution says you have the right to interstate travel. It's under the Commerce Clause. Look it up. If they pass legislation that limits a woman's ability to go to another state to do what is illegal in their state but legal in another state,
yep,
that's another right taken away
illegal in Idaho,
women.
but it's legal here in Washington, Oregon.
We have never seen anything like this before. Have you ever noticed the state of Alabama prosecuting someone who goes to Colorado and smokes marijuana? It's illegal in Alabama to smoke marijuana. It's legal in Colorado.
Yeah.
What about gambling? Have we ever known a state to prosecute someone for going out of a state where gambling is illegal to a state where gambling is legal? Have they ever prosecuted the charter bus company that took you from one state where it's illegal to the next state where it's legal? Has that ever happened before? No. Jackson, thoughts on this?
You know, what's funny was here, are you ever going to see like in a prosecuting, like they're going to prosecute somebody, like say the smoking age here is 21. But I think in Oregon it's still 18. Others say, are you going to see them go and prosecute and charge somebody who's like 19 years old who smokes cigarettes, but it's illegal here in our state? No, they ain't going to do it.
So I think that the first important thing to take note of and to realize is that let's say that this story was a hoax, like the prosecutor and a few other people, including right-wing pundits in the news, said. Even if this was a fake story, in a population of over 300 million people, these types of things do happen. And these types of things happen, in a number of instances and at scale because we're dealing with over 300 million people. So these are the types of stories that we're getting ready to see frequently. These are the types of results that we're getting ready to see frequently. And the fact that this doctor is, potentially going to be prosecuted for performing the abortion on this little girl, as we talked about before, it's going to drive other doctors into fear of performing life-saving procedures as well. Mm-hmm. And also, it's important to point out that you know, it just goes to show that these people came out immediately and said it's a hoax without any evidence, without even trying to put forth any evidence. How lazy and just small-minded these people really are. But as George Carlin once said, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. And that's unfortunately what we're dealing with.
Yeah, and they're so quick to debunk anything that would cause their precious political ideology to become questionable to reasonable people. They're willing to silence the voice of a 10-year-old victim, and they're willing to literally defend.
Yeah, man, it's like I said. I mean, like I said, are you going to see the tour for community talk about a story? No, they won't. They don't talk about the cops raping or get plea deals for sexual assault as well, and they certainly won't talk about this, but I will. This is why I do stories like this. With that said, I'm out here, Mike. Y'all, peace out, much love, respect.